Primetime local news, serving the Lakeland and Midwest regions.
The weekend is upon us, but not before we have one more look at news, weather, sports, and more in the border city. Abby St. John, thank you for joining me. Josh Ryan here with another show on Primetime Local News. Very pet-centric show today, and we might have a coronation for our contest this week.
Yes, exactly. Well, you know, it was only fitting because we have the pet winner, so making the question of the day surrounded around your pets. And because, you know, for some people, or at least for most people, pets are very important to them. And I think, you know, acknowledging that is important.
And in order to acknowledge that, we need more comments from you. Send them to our Facebook and Twitter pages. What have your pets talked you? For now, though, let's go out to Eric Bay. He was on location earlier.
Thanks, guys. Well, today we've made our way back out to Vermilion, this time for the Vermilion Fair, which is happening again today and also tomorrow. So there's tons of stuff here to check out. We'll be taking part in some of that. As you can see, the midway just behind me. We're going to be talking a little bit about the ag stuff they have going on. But once again, there'll be tons of stuff here to cover throughout the show and even more for you to check out if you do want to come out here. But before we get to all that, we're going to head back into the studio where Abby has a look at your local news.
This week, the city renewed 2 5-year contracts with prominent sports organizations. The Lloydminster Curling Club's role with the Golf and Curling Center, as well as the Lloydminster Junior A Bobcats. The move assures more stability for all organizations involved and allows the focus to return to the daily grind. Josh Ryan reports.
City administration has many important relationships with organizations and facilities in town. With the contract renewal for the Lloydminster Curling Club, that relationship will continue.
They'll be managing and operating the curling portion, working with the restaurant, leasee, and working with the city staff to ensure that you have the best possible experience you have at the Lloyd Golf and Curling Center.
The other 5-year contract keeps the same agreement in place for the Junior A Cats.
Nonprofit organization that plays a huge role. A lot of people support the team. There's community involvement with the team. So having them know that there's a basis for 5 years, it allows them to build their business plans and moves forward.
Lloydminster is a fantastic city for us, and we're excited to have that agreement in place. And it's big for us as an organization to get that taken care of and continue to move forward with the city.
The Curling Club agreement states they will continue to take on responsibility for various costs, administration, ice installation, and maintenance.
They do the organization, they do those kind of maintenance things, and they are the experts when it comes to curling. So this was just an extension to what was started a year and a half ago by this council to ensure we took a look and make sure that we've got the best value for the taxpayer as well as operate the facility at its best possible capability.
While the Bobcats benefit from the agreement, it is still expected to bring the city $33,000 to $36,000 in revenue.
People wonder, do we give the Bobcats everything for free? No, we don't. But we do give them a reduced rate. So that's why it had to come to City Council. But at the same time, we want taxpayers to know that they're also pulling some of their own weight along with this.
And for the team staff, they can put their focus back on the ice.
A lot of junior teams that you always hear the rumblings of, you know, the city, things aren't good with the city or this is going on. And we don't have that here. We're fortunate where we are.
Josh Ryan, Primetime Local News.
Residents in Recovery has added a new classroom to make space for more members. Renovations are expensive, and a local man is raising money for the ground beneath his feet in an unusual way.
For a $1 donation or more, you can come up to me with this cart with this watermelon in it, and you can take a selfie with the watermelon, and we'll put an elastic. You can put the elastic band on the watermelon, and hopefully after about 400 plus elastics, this thing will blow up. And when it blows up, we're going to take the donations and we're going to march down to a local hardware store and get the supplies needed to put the flooring down in our classroom at Residents in Recovery. I was just sitting in the classroom the other day and I was looking at my feet with the flooring not done, and I just thought, well, it sure would be nice just to get this place nice and comfortable.
I'm here at Residents in Recovery to see where Cody's donations are going.
We've moved to the back of our office due to the number of participants we have. We have 20 to 25 participants a day. We've been forced to move to the back before the room has been completed. More concerning was the number of chairs. We quickly outgrew this. So as you can see, many more chairs to cram all of these people in that room, pretty much impossible. This is the floor subfloor ends there. We're going to finish the subfloor.
Cody has been raising money for a full day, and some residents at Residents in Recovery are starting to take notice.
Inspiring and encouraging. He came a long, long way just in the short period of time that he was here at Residents in Recovery. So if you put your mind to something, you can achieve anything.
You can catch Cody and his watermelon walking around Lloydminster this weekend. Molly Stogren, Primetime Local News.
Plays and performances of different themes commonly entertain the masses, no matter the age of the audience. Seniors from the Legacy Center are on their way to catch a play that hits home. After months of planning, nearly 40 seniors climbed into a bus this morning for a day trip, a ride that takes them to Rossler, Saskatchewan's Station Arts Center to see the play blow away.
It's about a farming family that's having issues with their elder mother, and they have to get rid of the farm, and something that most of the seniors here can relate to.
According to Carrie Pollard, getting the seniors out of the house is a part of a bigger plan.
Well, it's just nice to get them out, doing something different, out of their regular routine, and they like to go away for the day.
The day trip costs $150 per ticket. Although the day plan was catered to them, you don't have to be a Legacy member to join their events. Now we're going to Eric Bay, who is on location today.
Once again, we are back here down at the Vermilion Fair, and I'm joined now by Jason Zayak with the Ag Society. So first off, I know you guys have a ton of stuff going on here, so you can tell us a little bit about what you do have.
Well, we have a little bit of everything for everybody. Started off on the ag side, we got cattle shows, sheep shows, horse shows going on. More on the kids side, the midway and everything is here. It starts at 1, goes till midnight. There's plenty of food. There's lots of grandstand entertainment. We'll be having stock dogs tomorrow, a full day of them. So it allows all the exhibitors to come to town, show off their animals, show off their wares, everything in the trade fair to the exhibit hall. You know, it's just brings everybody together to the community.
No, that's great for sure. Now, what's kind of the importance of bringing, everybody together and showing off kind of this ag side of stuff here at the fair?
Well, you always want to get everybody together and just show off what we have here. This is a great facility, and the numerous hours the volunteers have put into this. It's just comes together. It's just awesome. I don't have a word for it, really.
All right, thank you so much for doing this. Enjoy it the rest of the way.
You betcha. Thank you for everything.
Yeah, no problem. We're going to have some more back from here down at the Vermilion Fair, but before that, we are going to head back into the studio.
Looks like it was a fun time out at the fair. Now 24 degrees is still the temperature here in the border city, so after a pretty rough one yesterday, we have some strong winds, but plenty of sunlight in the sky, and the temperature again has held strong thus far. Will be a slight dip for tomorrow, but still a relatively humid day. Ahead, your records 1988 and 2001 for the high and the low, 33 and 6, a little above and well below seasonal average temperatures. Wind, as we said before, a little strong on the strong side of things coming out of the west, but some of those gusts will be less frequent over the next 24 hours, and we're expecting back to around 11 to 12 kilometers and maybe a few stronger gusts after that. Now current temperatures 25 in both Edson and out in Jasper. Everything's around the seasonal average or just slightly above throughout Alberta, including 23 in Whitecourt and 26 in both Edmonton and in Red Deer. On the Sask side, everything again just a little bit above seasonal averages. 25 in Meadow Lake, Prince Albert, North Battleford, and in Saskatoon, Melfort holding strong as well at 23 degrees. So generally a pretty warm afternoon. That strong wind obviously taking off some of the edge that comes with a warm summer day. Now your 3-day forecast, 27 degrees and a low of 13 is what's expected tomorrow. Unfortunately, there's also a strong chance of a thunderstorm in the afternoon. Over 50% chance of precipitation overall for the day. If it hits, it could be several millimeters and obviously some rough skies, but that is not a for sure thing at the moment. Southwest winds, again, some strong gusts, but not the average speed that we've seen over the last 2 days. 19 and 12 on Sunday with 19 to 20 kilometer winds coming out of the northwest in that region. And then 22 and a low of 10 on Monday. Again, a chance of rain there, but strong periods of sun and wind coming out of the south this time around. We'll have another look at your 7-day later on Prime Time.
Welcome back. Well, Saskatchewan's crop report says haying is in progress and the yields are below normal. Officials say livestock producers now have about 20% of the hay crops cut and 25% baled or put into silage. They say the quality is rated as 4% excellent, 47% good, 32% fair, and 17% poor. Yields have been well below normal for many producers and will be in short supply in several areas. Most producers have indicated that there will not be a second cut of hay this year. And researchers with Agriculture and Agri-Food Canada have developed a project to study invasive species before they arrive in Canada. Scientists from Saskatoon, Winnipeg, and Ottawa are working to identify potential insect threats that are not yet present in the country. They will generate data to develop models that can be used to predict where these species might establish if they become invasive to Canada. They say it's proactive research that could lead to early detection and help with eradicating any pests before they can destroy crops. And now we're going to take a look at your egg prices.
We're a part of less than 5% of Canadian auto body shops and Lloydminster's only locations with certified collision care recognition at City Centre Auto Body.
Today marks exactly 1 year until the opening ceremonies of the 2020 Saskatchewan Summer Games here in Lloydminster. And the changes for the games are already being felt in the city. Facility upgrades and new sporting materials are needed to accommodate the week-long event. And as our Josh Park reports, this will have a lasting effect on the city.
Swimming, tennis, and even rugby are just some of the many events that will be played here in Lloydminster as part of the 2020 Summer Games. And well, what does that tell you? Just exactly the wide variety of new facilities and upgrades needed to accommodate games of this size. And 365 days away, the city and host society are already taking action.
So certainly we're working with the Games Committee to ensure maximum value of the upgrades that are happening. So they're leading the charge, but we're doing work at some of the ball diamonds and things like that. So there's a fairly extensive list that the Games Committee is working on.
To the naked eye, the amount of upgrades that are happening here in the city might not be that much. But in order to cover every sport being played, a lot of work is being done. And those facilities will be here to stay, having an impact on the sporting community here in Lloydminster for years to come.
And I think when the games are over, the city is going to see some nice upgrades within the city in terms of the facilities and what we have. And some of them may not be as noticeable if you're not involved in the sport. For example, with swimming, in terms of the new timing system we're putting in place. Well, unless you're at the pool and involved in that, you're not going to see it. But that's a huge piece to build the sport of swimming within Lloydminster.
The money being used to get the city games ready comes from a legacy grant awarded from the Games Council to the host society. And the new facility upgrades will allow the border city to possibly host other high-profile events in the future, as well as further sports on all levels in the community.
That is providing opportunity for facilities in these communities. And what that eventually does is drive local sport activity in those communities. We've heard from previous host sites that because they've had new things like the new track and field track, those kind of things, people throughout the whole city are able to utilize those. So, anybody from ages 5 to 65 are walking on those tracks and using that as part of their lifelong activities.
The 2020 Saskatchewan Summer Games are set for next summer and will run from July 26th to August 1st. Josh Park, Primetime Local Sports.
Now we're going to Eric Bay, who was on location today.
Once again, we are back here at the Vermilion Fair, and now Deanna Chris joins me, and we're talking a little bit about the sheep show you guys have going on. So can you tell us a little bit about it?
Okay, so we have exhibitors from all over Alberta. We have coming from Clyde to Lloydminster and everywhere in between. And we have various classes that will be showing. Our two big ones are our flock class and our pen of 3 market lamb class. And then we have ewe lamb, ram lambs, and various age group of classes such as those.
And now you mentioned that market class and the pen of 3 class. So can you just tell us maybe what the differences are between those two classes?
Okay, so we have exhibitors who are putting together a pen of 3 market lambs that are very even, and the goal is to be at finished weight and to see, you know, profitability is a big thing, and so having good quality lambs for that. So that's one of our bigger classes. The flock class is the exhibitors showing a ewe lamb, a yearling ewe, and a mature ewe. And what the judge will be looking for is an even looking flock that will produce them some good lambs, good quality lambs, and profitability as well in their flock.
And now the kids are outside obviously doing some final preparations with the blow dryers and the shears. So can you explain maybe what they are doing out there?
So the kids put a lot of work into it too. So there's at one point on the farm where they will shear the sheep and get the wool to a certain length. And then when they get here, they'll wash the sheep up. And then they want to trim them and getting them looking just right. And so they do a lot of clipping on them as well. And have them ready for show.
And now we did talk to off camera about how you guys have a few different kinds of sheep here. So can you tell us the different breeds of sheep that there are here?
Okay, so we have exhibitors who do have purebreds as well as we do have some commercials. So we have some Dorsets, Arcots, Hampshires, Suffolk. And then we have a few exhibitors who have crosses, and some of the crosses may be of those that I mentioned. So.
All right, thank you so much for this. Enjoy the rest of the day.
All right, thank you.
We're going to have some more back from here down at the Vermilion Fair, tons to check out. But before we do that, we're going to head back into the studio.
Thanks very much, eBay, from earlier today. Now, your next 24 hours, we do see a shift in temperature right away at about 9 o'clock. A couple of degrees will drop, and then overnight we'll get down to 13 around 4 or 5 a.m. Right back up into the 20s by 11 and into the mid-20s by 2 o'clock. So fairly warm afternoon expected despite that strong chance of precipitation that is ahead, as you can see over the next 24 hours. No cloud cover over the course of this day, but this low pressure system just hanging off the coast in BC is slowly making its way through, and by about 1 o'clock we'll start to see the cloud cover hit. By 5 p.m. plenty more cloud cover, and that's when that strong chance of a thunderstorm is possible. 25 is the temperature in several towns in the region, including Vermilion, Marwayne, Vegreville, and in Bonnyville as well. 24 out in Lac La Biche, a little bit warmer in Edmonton at 26 degrees. We have 25 up in Isle La Crosse, then 24 in Green Lake, Meadow Lake, and 25 in St. Walburg. So everything, again, just a couple of degrees warmer than the average temperature for this time of the year. Same goes in Maidstone and in North Battleford, where they have relatively sunny skies as well right now. Stronger winds, though, coming out of the west, 26 kilometers, several gusts over 30 kilometers. Fortunately, that will calm down quite a bit overnight as it shifts to the south, only 9 or 10 kilometers per hour. A low of 12, then a high of 29 tomorrow, tempered, of course, by some cloud cover late and a chance of thunderstorms in the evening. Wind will remain from the south. In Cold Lake, 25 degrees, a low of 13 expected overnight. Those westerly winds will also shift to the south slowly and calm down drastically. 26, the high for tomorrow. Again, an outside chance of a thunderstorm, but largely sunny skies and definitely calmer winds than they've been experiencing. And a similar tale here in the border city, 24 with a low of 13 expected overnight. Again, a shift from west to south-southeast. Still some cloud cover will pop up throughout the night, so not quite as clear skies as in those other two regions, and a stronger chance of precipitation as there will be heavier cloud cover in the Midwest than there will be in the Lakeland region. Wind will also pick up a little bit, so out of the southwest we could get as many as 17, 18 kilometers, maybe some gusts in the 20-plus kilometer range. Now 19 and 12 on Sunday, where there is more sunlight expected, 22 and 10 on Monday, and then 24 on Tuesday with a low of 12. Then we have a little less chance of precipitation as the wind shifts from the south to the north-northwest. 25 and 13 on Wednesday, where there could be more cloud cover, but only a 40% chance of rainfall, then 21 and 12 on Thursday, and 23 and 10 on Friday, where it should be largely sunny all afternoon, and the wind will be a little calmer than some of the days on the map, so 15 kilometers, just enough to bring the degrees down, the feeling of the degrees down by 2 or 3 degrees. That has been your 7-day forecast.
Now we're going to Eric Bay, who was on location today.
Once again, we are back here from the Vermilion Fair, and now Melissa Graham joins me with her sons Lincoln and Beckett. Now they've just recently showed here real quick, so can you tell us maybe what they just did here in the ring?
The boys were both just in the confirmation class for the junior part of the show, so they both brought in a bred heifer, a yearling heifer, and they showed with a bunch of other yearling heifers.
And now, obviously, pretty young, so can you just maybe tell us how long they've been doing this for, and what kind of, maybe, did you guys get them into it, or did they just kind of want to do it themselves?
Actually, both my husband and I showed in 4-H. My husband has shown shorthorn cattle for many years. Lincoln is our oldest. He's 8, and he has been showing since he was 4. Beckett started showing as well when he was 4. So Lincoln's been doing this for 4.5 years.
And now, what's it like, again, you did just mention that you guys used to do it, so what's it like when you see your sons kind of take it over, I guess, and taking that family tradition?
You know, it sure makes you proud when you watch them go into the ring and they actually can handle these animals, and they have as much pride in the animals as we did when we were younger. It makes everyone so proud. Both sets of grandparents are here watching, and it's such a humbling experience.
No, that's awesome for sure. Now, you did mention off camera that this is your guys' first year here at the Vermilion Fair, so can you talk maybe about the experience and what you guys enjoyed about it?
So far, it has been a great experience. It's so great to see a bunch of other young individuals here showing for the junior portion, as well as a bunch of cattle. The kids have enjoyed every minute of it so far.
And now I did talk to you about how they've just shown, so maybe you could talk about how they did. Oh, see, they kind of getting a little jittery, like in the microphone. How they did here in the ring earlier.
You know what? Both boys did great. They both showed held their heads up and did great. Beckett got 3rd place and Lincoln got 5th in his class. So they're just getting ready to show in showmanship.
All right, that's awesome. Great to see that they're doing well, and thank you so much for doing this.
Absolutely, thank you. All
right, we're going to have some more from back down here at the Vermilion Fair as we check out everything there is to see here over the next couple of days. There's still one more day left, so we're going to have some more back from here, but before that, we'll head back into the studio.
Transitioning from one animal to the next, your question for before we get to pet of the day, your question of the day is, what has your pet taught you? And we had some pretty interesting responses. The one I'll single out is Gail Stonehouse says that her dog has taught her that always be happy to see your loved ones and never be grumpy. I think we fail at that as humans generally all the time.
I know, having a pet gives you that kind of security, because it's always a nice feeling when you get home and something is super excited to see you, because you're their world, and so they want to do anything they possibly can to stay in your world. And I think pets really bring out the generosity and genuine feeling of a human, because they're just so innocent and they're so loving, and it's just, I think pets are very vital to people's lives.
As Ricky Gervais says, I wish we were as good and wholesome as dogs. And we have some dogs that have been featured this week in our Pet of the Day contest. Let's get right to it, starting with Buddy. Thank you, Lorna, for the submission.
Adorable ears, must say, looks so cute.
Looks like some good lampshades. There's Murphy, submitted by Jean.
Very, very adorable.
Next up here, Chevy and Mocha. Looks like they're about to go conquer the great outdoors.
Gorgeous picture. It honestly looks like Bob Ross painted this. Very, very nice.
Excellent Bob Ross reference. Nico and Rosie, another pair for you.
Very cute. Love the rain jackets. I think they look adorable.
And finally, Luna Jade. We had to get a cat in there. Thank you, Chantrice.
Beautiful name. First off, love the name, and very adorable kitty.
And remember, you always got to submit your picture, but make sure to not forget the name if you want to win that free gift card.
We want to see your pets. Send photos of your pet and their name to our Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram to have them featured on Pet of the Day. Your name will be entered into a weekly draw for a gift certificate from the Pet Pad.
Today I'm joined here with Lori LaBerge. She is the owner of Abbey Road Flowers, and today we're going to be talking just a little bit about it being family owned, and we're going to talk about what sets them apart from, you know, other flower shops. So thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
Because I'm a big believer in family owned local businesses, and you recently just bought the business from another family.
Yes, that's correct. At the end of April this year, I bought the business from Deb Pedrobeski and her daughter Jenna Noble. They did such a fantastic job with Abbey Road and had such a great reputation that I thought it was a really good fit for me. And so yeah, now my family is working at Abbey Road. And actually kind of funny because we did a little bit of renovations when we first took over, and like my whole family was there. So yeah, definitely family owned.
And what sets you guys apart from, let's say, going to Safeway to get flowers or to a chain flower franchise?
So our flowers are fresh, and we don't hand out product that it wouldn't meet our standards that we would want to have in our own home. I always have that compliment as your flowers last the longest, are the freshest. And we can also accommodate to, as long as we have that flower in our cooler, we can make the arrangement of choice for what you're wanting. And you know, depending on the occasion, that really is very important to that individual.
And what, I guess, some of the challenges of being a local business competing against like the bigger names, what are some of the challenges, if there are any, have you faced so far?
I would say, if anything, it would be more along of price point. You know, for instance, if you can go buy your flowers at Safeway or Walmart or whatever. We can't compete with that. However, our flowers are better quality and will last longer than those ones at those types of stores.
And what are some of the arrangements, or what can people expect when they come and, you know, want to order a bouquet of flowers or get an arrangement for an occasion?
Well, especially if they want something very personalized, absolutely we can do that. You know, where for different occasions we have people bring in something that is very special to them or a memento, and we can incorporate that into the arrangement. And then that way, that really makes it very personal for them.
And have you seen, you know, you mentioned that you guys get comments about flowers lasting the longest. What are some of the other feedback that you receive from customers that come in, buy your flowers?
Just that how beautiful and unique the arrangements are. And that's something that we're trying to strive more towards as well, is having more unique arrangements. You know, of course, we still will have the traditional ones in our cooler. But then also, if you're looking for something that kind of sets it apart differently from other places, absolutely, that, you know, come see us, and we would love to do something that's uniquely for you.
What would you say would be your most popular time of year, or even occasions that people come in and say, hey, we want this for this certain thing?
Well, Mother's Day was very, very big, and I just took over right before Mother's Day, and that was, I mean, thank goodness for Deb and Jenna. They definitely helped me out there, but that was the biggest one so far for me. I'm only a few months in, and then I also understand that Valentine's Day will be very popular.
And really quickly before we wrap up, if anyone wants to, you know, get an arrangement or experience the local business, how can they do so?
Contacting us. Our phone number is 780-875-2211. We are also on Facebook and Instagram. We also have a website, www.abbeyroadflowers.com. Any one of those ways, or stop in. We are located in the Wayside Plaza, right across from the mall. We also have a large supply of houseplants, so if that's something else that you're looking for, houseplants, succulents, we have a big variety of that as well.
All right, well, perfect. Thank you so much for coming in and sharing this business with me.
Thank you so much.
I'm Justin with Boom 101.9 and 93.7 Win FM, and here's what's happening. Communities in Bloom invites you to a picnic in the park. It is happening this Sunday from 11 till 2 at Wallace Park. Make sure you check this out. There's going to be food, face painting, and a coloring contest, just to name a few of the many things they have going on. It's basically the perfect way to spend a Sunday with the family. So make sure you get out there and check it out. Once again, it is happening this Sunday from 11 till 2 at Wallace Park. Moving on, the Vermilion Agriculture Society welcomes you to the 113th Annual Vermilion Fair. This all-ages event is happening the 25th to the 27th, so make sure you get out there and check this out. It's going to be very cool. It's Western Canada's largest and oldest agriculture fair, which is really neat. Once again, that is going down in Vermilion the 25th to the 27th. And last but not least, we are keeping it short and sweet this week. Celebrate the 33rd annual Irma Summer Spiel. It is happening July 30th to August 5th. You can still register your teams for the slow pitch and the curling over at irmasummerspiel.com. Registration does fill up quick, so if you haven't gotten a team put together yet, make sure you do right away if this is something that interests you. It is going to be an insane time. They've seriously jam-packed as many events as possible in these few days, so you're going to want to check this out either way. For more information, you can always check out our websites, 1019boom.com or winfm.com. I'm Justin with Boom 101.9 and 93.7 Win FM, and that's what's happening.